Have up on your screen right now is a schedule of what has been and what will be. As you can see, we've added 2 new Fraud Watch Fridays to the end of what was a projected schedule in the beginning. On June 4, we're going to do what parents and grandparents need to know about child identity theft. Now, that's pretty new, and we haven't seen much information about that out there, but it is an issue. And if you are a grandparent or parent, or if your kids have kids, you should let them know about that, and hopefully they will turn in and learn how they can protect their kids from identity theft. And then on June 18th, at the end of Protect Week, we're going to have a conversation with a nationally known person who knows a lot about fraud. So that should be very interesting. This morning, we're going to talk about scams that have evolved during this pandemic and what coronavirus scams look like. The presenter will be Karen Morgan, an AARP representative volunteer in Maryland, and a very knowledgeable person. One of those people who happens to be a lawyer too, and that really says something. So with that, I'm going to ask Karen to say good morning and to begin her program.
Good morning, everyone. I'm really happy to be here. I'm not sure what being a lawyer actually says. Hopefully there's something good about that. But I focus on fraud prevention issues as a volunteer with AARP. And I'm really happy to step in for Bob Busch, who normally presents on Fraud Watch Fridays, but he was not able to be here today. So Ted asked me to step in, and I'm happy to do that. So today our episode is on coronavirus scams. And with that, I'm going to start sharing my screen so that you all can see the information that Bob and Ted developed for this. Okay. I hope you can see my screen. And like I said, we're going to be talking about coronavirus scams. And just to verify, we are recording this session, so you will be able to replay this session from the AARP library, or friends or family are interested, they can go to the AARP library. If you don't want to be recorded, you can turn your video off or leave the meeting. But if you stay in the meeting with your video on, that is your permission to be in the recorded session. That's just sort of a disclaimer that we need to mention when we do Fraud Watch Fridays. So our world has changed with the coronavirus, and well, okay, thanks, Captain Obvious. Yes, it really has. It's changed in ways that we just couldn't imagine, between the quarantines and the lockdowns and the fear among senior populations and the social isolation. But who really knew that a pandemic, a worldwide pandemic, would be a business opportunity for scammers and thieves? These days, scams to jump the line are actually more targeted to younger populations, maybe because seniors are perceived as less likely to arrange vaccine appointments through the internet, but scammers are looking for plenty of ways to target anybody that they can get a hold of. So what we hope to accomplish today, we hope to raise awareness about the coronavirus scams that are out there, offer some insights into how thieves steal personal information, and to offer some suggestions so that you can protect yourself. So let's talk about the main tactics of these scammers, con people, con men, con women. Phishing is a favorite of scammers, and phishing is when a scammer sends an email to you looking for personal information. And there are plenty of phishing emails out there offering up coronavirus related tests or free vaccines or cures. And certainly as a result of the coronavirus, there are phishing scams related to stimulus payments, unemployment claims. Unemployment fraud has been rampant since the pandemic started. Charities, investments. Do you want to invest in Moderna? Do you want to invest in Pfizer? There are a lot of scams out there about that. Contract tracing. It looks like you may have contracted the virus, so for a few $100s, we can verify that for you. All of that's a scam. So here's a protect yourself checklist. You want to avoid any offers for coronavirus tests, for vaccines or cures. Never click on or open links or downloads from unsolicited, uninvited emails. You don't ever want to share your Social Security, Medicare, or financial data by phone or email for someone that you don't know who's asking about it. Now, if you call Social Security and they ask for your number, that's different, or you call Medicare, that's different. But if you get a call claiming to be from Social Security or Medicare, that's the cue to hang up the phone. You want to be wary of fundraising calls for COVID-related charities. And you don't want to fall victim to fake government giveaways. You want a PPP loan? All you need to do is just sign up or give me this information, and you can get like a loan with no interest for $5,000. Scam. You want to ignore phone calls or emails that offer corona-related investments, like I said before. And whatever you do, please don't share a picture of your vaccination card on any social media platform. Even if you think you're doing it privately, that data could still be captured by scammers, especially if the social media platform is hacked. And we understand you want to share good news about being vaccinated, but just tell people personally, or just mention that you got vaccinated without any pictures if you would rather use social media to share the news. So let's start with the phishing scam. Sending unsolicited emails or casting bait on the internet to see who bites. And then there's also smishing, which is the same as phishing, using mobile devices. Say that 10 times fast. So a lot of phishing emails will promise a cure, and they'll talk about different vaccines, maybe something other than Pfizer or Moderna or Johnson & Johnson that really cures, or they'll put out false information about the World Health Organization, fake medicines, promises of medical prevention and aid. And they'll ask for payment by electronic transfer or gift card. Well, at AARP, we say it is far better to provide electronic transfers or money or the purchase of gift cards only to people you know and trust, and preferably only to family and friends. If a person you don't know wants you to pay by electronic transfer or a gift card, just assume it's a scam. Dangerous websites or Trojan horses abound, and they're generally unsolicited. They're disguised as a government agency, and it's trivially easy for a scammer to put up a fake website that looks just like the CDC website or the Medicare website. It's unfortunately extremely easy for them to do that. Malicious websites that offer you something so that you'll open a link or a download, or will say something to cause you to panic so that you open the link or download material. A lot of these websites will contain a virus or malware. And remember, just clicking on a link to an email could open up your computer to malware that then gives the crook control over your entire computer, and they can look in and find all sorts of things. I know someone that happened to not too long ago. So For malicious websites, you want to just ignore any unsolicited emails or messages. You don't ever want to give out personal data. Don't give out the date that you got vaccinated. Don't give out what vaccine you got. Don't give out bank cards or credit card information. Don't give out how you got an appointment for a vaccine. And remember that any site asking for a wire transfer of funds or a gift card, they're scams if it didn't come from you. If it's an unsolicited email and they're asking for a wire transfer or a gift card, it's a scam. But even if you did initiate the contact, you still want to be careful and make sure that it's not a scam. Now let's talk about financial scams for a second. Scams that are designed to steal your financial data and money. And they definitely involve stimulus payments. You want your $1,400, the government's taking too long, let me help you out with that. That's a scam. COVID-19 relief packages, especially for businesses that have been suffering because of the pandemic. Relief from credit card and student debt because so many people haven't been able to pay their bills, again, due to the pandemic and the ever popular investments. You can make $1 bazillion if you just buy this scammy stock. So those scams involving stimulus payments under the CARES Act, they're designed to get you to act without thinking, and they generally involve offers to get you a larger check or to get your check early or to get larger unemployment funds and to alter your bank account information. And then there are the government relief grants. And remember, they want you to be so impatient about getting your government check that you will pay for shortcuts. And a payment for a shortcut will actually cost you. It will not only cost you in the short run, it'll cost you in the long run. Getting the assistance that you think you're entitled to will take far longer if you get involved with these scams than if you just follow the required procedures and be patient. And thanks to the pandemic, there are lots of scams involving debt. Bogus offers to help with credit card debt, to increase your credit card score, or to give you credit card counseling. These scams are after your financial and bank account data. And scammers are even more persuasive in the time of the pandemic. So many people are on financial tenterhooks because of this horrible disease. And the scammers want to take advantage of your anxiety so that they can get their hands on your money. And with stock investment scams, I would say if it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true. Bogus offers of hot investment opportunities, startup companies, detection protocols, cures that no one's ever heard of, they don't exist. They're just different ways of getting money, and none of them are honest. So scammers claiming to be from your health department doing contract tracing, they're crooks. And they'll try to get to you by phone or even in person or email. And they'll tell you that you were exposed to COVID. They don't know that you were exposed to COVID, but they're saying that so that you will panic. The questions start out simply, but then they get highly personal. So if that happens, if you get a call like that or a contact like that, be wary and call your health department after the call, but don't give out personal data. So some wrap-up safety measures. You want to screen your calls with caller ID and voicemail. You don't want to open, respond, or click on suspicious emails. Please remember, there are no miraculous cures for COVID. There's the disease, and there's the 3 vaccines, and that's it. Beware of offers for government money or grants, especially when people want you to pay to get these fabulous government grants. Don't answer unsolicited contract tracing contacts. Don't pay for anything from a gift with a gift card. Don't pay any stranger with a gift card. Now, let me say this about caller ID and voicemail. Unfortunately, even screening every single call by caller ID won't always protect you, because scammers, again, find it trivially easy to spoof phone numbers. But be wary anyway of any unsolicited call offering any kind of help or any kind of product. And if the unsolicited person asks you for personal information, or they say, well, I have your personal information, but I want to verify the information, it's best to just end the call. You can always get the product or service independently if you really think it's important at a later time, if you really need it. So with that, that ends our presentation on coronavirus and related scams. I want to thank you for your attention, and I'll be happy to entertain any questions or comments that you might have. With that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and get back to all of you. Hello there.